The 7th iteration of the Nike Freak line is here. We've got the performance review, so let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Whee!
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got the performance review on the Nike Freak 7. Just in case you wanted to know, this is the box. It's actually a cool box, but most people don't care when we're talking about performance. So go ahead and get started with the traction. The traction right here was surprisingly good. It does not look like it would be good, but it was a ton of coverage. It was super tacky. And on top of that, it feels like it would be pretty decent outdoors in terms of durability. For its price point, I think that's a huge plus. And overall, I would say that the traction was probably one of the shoe's main highlights. Like this right here was a standout feature, at least in my opinion. I honestly am surprised though, because the way that the rubber is on this particular pair is like this weird kind of like marbly pearlescent. Like I just did not think that this was going to grip well, but it really did. Even if dust was a little bit more caked on there, all you do is just wipe it off and it was pretty much good to go, as good as new. So yeah, I think that the traction on these guys was pretty solid. Moving on up, we've got a Cushlon midsole. It's I believe their Cushlon 3.0, and this would probably be its second standout feature, which is not surprising because lately Nike has been really kind of doing well with traction and its cushion. And with this shoe, it's really no different. The Cushlon is full length, so it's a very consistent and smooth ride. I wouldn't say it's the bounciest version of Cushlon, so when we're comparing this Cushlon 3.0 to something like, man, I feel like every shoe has it, and I'm forgetting on what all of these shoes' names are. The only one I can think of right now is the Sabrinas, but those have Zoom with them, so that's kind of cheating. Oh, like the Tatums. The Tatum 4 specifically. That shoe felt way more soft and plush compared to this one. So this is just kind of like a slightly different ride than the Cushlon 3.0 that you might be expecting, depending on where you're moving from. You know what I mean? Like what products you're going from into these guys. But I do think that for the most part, most people will be satisfied with the tooling down. I think that they did a really good job on that. So, you know, hats off. Great cushion, great traction. Now, the upper and stuff. That's where like the shoe just really falls apart, at least for me. Everything just kind of like doesn't work well with one another. It's very strange. Maybe if I was a little bit bigger and just like a heavier person, maybe it would work out better for me. But as far as like this shoe, I just feel sluggish. I feel slow. The shoe doesn't flex well with me. So it's just one of those things where like I don't enjoy playing in these whatsoever, personally. So the materials, while I don't think are bad, I just don't think that they, I don't know how to explain it. They just didn't work for me. They're plenty durable. I actually like the way that it looks. Like, I don't think that these look bad. I like the molded micro mesh. I like the textile. I like the hot melt stuff. I like everything that they've done. So like, I don't know what it is that made them so incompatible with my foot. I want to say it's the shape of the shoe itself, which I'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, overall, I just wasn't really feeling the ride from the midsole up. You know what I mean? Like all of that was super uncomfortable for me. So yeah, I can't say that the materials are bad by any means. If anything, they're very just kind of standard. Like at this point, like everything has something like this. Like if you go to a basketball section of a shoe store, almost everything's gonna have this kind of stuff on it. So there's no surprises outside of the way that it felt. Which does bring me right into the fit section. First off, go true to size. Most people, at least lengthwise, will be good to go. However, these use the same last. I can't stand it. At this point, like I don't even want to be like nice or respectful, but I'm going to try my best to be. The last shape that they're using to build these shoes off of, and I'm talking specifically Nike basketball right now, is so horrendous. It makes the shoe unbearable while wearing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain that my foot shape is not like this, other than by saying every time that my foot shape's not like this. Most people's foot shape's not like this. Like it's just like really weird that we can go from peak Nike basketball to this crap. I don't understand why, you know? And I understand that most people see a swoosh, they buy the swoosh, they wear the swoosh, they're like, cool. But for me, like I could feel the difference. I've been wearing these products since I started playing basketball over half my life ago. And this current generation of fit in Nike basketball products is the worst I've ever experienced in my lifetime. Damn! I don't even know if the audio is gonna pick up here, but while we were just doing some pickup B-roll shots, I had to like just vent because I was so frustrated with how much my toes were in pain.
This is killing my toes. I don't know if it's this, or the taper, or all of it, but this is hurting like crazy. And then these stupid fucking last shapes that Nike insists on using makes it feel like you're wearing two left basketball shoes. My right foot is so uncomfortable and being forced this way, and I'm getting pain here. I don't care how cheap these are garbage. This just bad fundamentals coming from what I consider to be the best brand for basketball products, at least back in the day. And I just can't honestly say that anymore. Like, they just don't do it. It's sad. These are garbage.
So yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but all I know is that I really can't stand Nike basketball right now. And it pains me to say that because I love the brand as a whole. I love, you know, everything from like when I was a kid, all the stuff that would be in these types of magazines. It's just that like, this is not the same thing. I don't know why they're using this lash shape. I really wish that they would stop because it makes me go to Adidas products. Like, I will wear the AE2s, I will wear the Dawn issue 7s, I will wear damn near anything but this. Now, in terms of support, very solid, much like the traction and the cushion. One of the bad things though is just that they're very much like, I don't know what's in here, but they are not flexible. I don't know if it's because of all that rubber that is so great and will make it so durable, but it's one of those things where I just feel like the shoe is kind of cumbersome for me. So like I was saying earlier, if I was maybe a little bit bigger or maybe a little bit heavier, they may like work for me better. But my game and my style of play and my body and everything is not like that. Like, I am a 1 and 2 combo. I do play at usually a pretty fast pace, and something like this just doesn't work well with me. Will it work well with somebody like Giannis? Probably. The dude is massive, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, what, 7 feet tall? Something like that, or near it. Called the Greek Freak for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, the dude's like the pinnacle of perfection as far as like body goes.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard, you are huge.
But seriously, like, the guy looks like a Greek god, you know what I mean? So him wearing something like this is probably nothing. But for me, I just felt slow. I felt restricted. I couldn't move well in the forefoot, so my range of motion was very much muted, and it just wasn't fun. But they are very supportive. So that is the positive side of everything, is that everything does like work well for support, but maybe just not for a smaller guard. So yeah. Forefoot, extra wide stable base, lash shape, complete garbage. Lockdown, that's where like they don't work very well there. The lacing structure is these little like fly wire cables, and every time you lace them up and go to the next rung, it undoes what you just did. So you gotta like hold everything while you're going to the next one. So it's a little bit weird, it's a little annoying. Heel counter, very strong. So yeah, it's not all bad. There's definitely positives here. Like I said, from the midsole down, very comfortable, great traction. Lack of flex, which could be a bad thing for some people, myself being one of them. But not everything is horrible. The most just like negligent thing I think right now is just the lash shape. I think that that's just not working. I don't know why they switched to these lasts and they continue to do them. But hopefully one of these days they'll listen and they'll go back to making basketball shoes the way that they used to when Nike was actually like peak with basketball. Because right now I'd probably put them close to the bottom.
Wow.
Now, with all of that being said, God, I feel like a Debbie Downer today. That just really put a in my soul, so that sucks. But with all of that being said, what's today's viewer submitted question of the day? I hope that it puts me in a better mood now.
Okay, so stay with me for a second.
It's gonna be a long one.
This is a comment that I am turning into a question.
Oh, really?
Yes, so it was for the Nike Vomero Premium, but they were saying, you would be surprised how many people wear through their uppers on just walks. I used to work in run specialty, and a number of people would poke holes through the upper of their shoes just on walks, which made me reflect on myself. And out of 17 years of running, I think I just had my first shoe give out through the upper. Normally I replace it because of the traction, but with my walking shoes, the upper gets destroyed every single time. And so I was thinking, like, in basketball or running or any sport of choice for the people listening, what typically gives out on your shoe that makes you go and replace your sports equipment?
That is a good question, and I'm sure it will be different for everyone. I know when I was a kid for basketball, because with this, I can only wear it for so long before I go into the next product that we're going to be testing and stuff, but it'd always be the inside.
Yes, that's what goes out on my walking shoes.
Yeah, and so that could also be though, because when I was a kid, that was my walking and everyday shoe, and it was my basketball shoe, so maybe that's why. Maybe it was just getting obliterated from constant abuse, you know? Whereas when I have, right now, I have my basketball only shoes, and they do get chewed up here. all the time, like always around the collar, like around like that top eye stay area. It's like your heels or your feet kind of like somehow, you know, and I don't really know how, because you would think that you would trip over yourself like doing that constantly, but like I don't know why, but that's what I usually see. Certain other shoes, especially in basketball, it's this side, it's the lateral edge. It just really depends on how thin the shoe is. So like textile shoes like the Kobe 8s, Kobe 9s, those would always rip right there. And then the Fuse shoes like the Kobe 5s, that was a seam that was hidden by the little design piece, and that would blow too. But what about you guys? What sport are you playing, or are you just wearing them casually? Let us know what is, what did you say, like wearing?
Like what
first?
makes you decide like I need to replace these? I can't wear them anymore.
Sound off below, let us know. On top of all of that, what do you think about the Freak 7s? Do you think that this was a hit? Do you think it was a miss? Or are you kind of like me where there's some really good aspects to them, but just overall didn't work for me? Maybe they didn't work for you either, or maybe you're the exact opposite and the reasons that they didn't work for me are exactly why they work for you. Sound off below, let me know. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.